Welcome back everybody, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how I made my drift kart. So this project all started with this 125cc quad. It's a 3-speed manual with reverse, and it's also got automatic start. So I found this on Marketplace for 50 bucks. It was advertised as not running, so I just took a battery with me, connected it up and just made sure it cranked and nothing was seized. Once I got it home, I took the carby off, removed the jets and just gave everything a good clean. Reassembled everything, got the quad running and gave it a quick test in the yard. Once I knew the quad was running all sweet, I labelled a few things on the wiring loom and stripped the whole quad. The back part of the drift kart pretty much consists of this rectangle bit of box section. I drilled a hole in it to support the bottom of the axle, and for the top part I just made this angled support with a bit of a slot in it, which allows me to tighten the chain. The frame design for this drift kart is pretty wacky, but this is what I come up with. I accidentally took out one too many links on the chain, so it was under heaps of tension and pulling across to the left a bit. But to help with this, I just ground out a little bit more on the adjustment section and welded on another nut to lock it in place. I found these go-kart rims on Temu for pretty cheap and just found some go-kart tyres on Marketplace, but unfortunately this rim doesn't suit the quad bike rear axle. The stud pattern's a little different, so I went on eBay, purchased some new hubs. These have the same tooth spline needed to suit the quad bike rear axle and the same stud pattern to suit our go-kart rims. The only reason I'm swapping all this stud pattern over is it'll just allow me to run smaller rims like all the standard go-kart spec instead of having big ATV wheels. These front hubs don't actually fit inside these rims, so what I've had to do is just spin the hub around so it's pretty much just the bolts supporting the whole wheel. I ended up cutting a bit of length off these control arms just because they were sitting a bit awkward, and I also made up a longer bracket for the steering column, which will give me a little bit more lock and be better for drifting. The glass on this master cylinder was broken, which is pretty common on these older sort of quad bikes and pit bikes, so I ordered a new brake setup and made a mount for the handbrake to sit on. Because the glass was cracked on the brake master cylinder, the lines were probably full of dirt, so we decided to flush them and put new fluid in. Now onto the wiring. So previously I did label what everything did, but I've had this quad pulled apart and sitting in storage for about a year. So when I pulled it out, all the tape had sort of come off and I didn't really know where the ignition wires were. So you can find these wiring diagrams for these Chinese quads online, or you can actually buy like full wiring looms for about 30 bucks. But I sort of just played around for a little bit and I just run a screwdriver across the starter relay and got it running temporarily. Down here I've got a lighting switch which I've wired to each side of the starter relay where I was running the screwdriver before. And up here I've got a isolator which isolates the CPU and turns the quad off. So in the future I'll probably look into putting in a push button start or like a key barrel system, but for now this will get it up and running. But as you can see, the carby's leaking pretty bad as well, so we'll swap that out with a new one. Now originally I was having a bit of trouble finding some pipe that would fit over these go-kart tyres, so for the first trial I just got some buckets and chopped them down. Buckets work good for a bit, but because the plastic was so thin, it'd just get hot and they'd pretty much just slide off. After a bit of looking around though, I found some PVC pipe that was the right diameter to fit over the tyre, and that worked mint. But you can also buy drift sleeves online if you're having trouble finding any pipe that'll fit over. That's it for today's video guys. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.